Welcome to Pull Up for the Culture, the Legacy Lounge, where we say what generations were taught to swallow. It's your girl, Kian. Today we continue our series on inherited silence with part 9 of our series. This episode is called Gifted But Black, the quiet struggles of being exceptional in a system that doesn't see you. We're talking about Black students that are in gifted programs. Those students who made it, who tested in, and got the label of being smart. Even though they're labeled being smart, they still had to shrink, still had to fight for belonging, and still carry the silence that came with being different. Not just from their peers, but sometimes from their very own community. So let's be real. When a Black child is labeled gifted, there's immediate pressure. There's a pressure to be perfect. They can't mess up. And the one that stands out the most is that they represent their entire race. Then on the flip side, you have some parents that celebrate it while others saying, don't get too full of yourself. Don't forget where you came from. You're not better than anybody else. So the gifted Black child learns to shrink. They learn to shrink their brilliance in order to keep peace. Peace at home, peace in the neighborhood, but most of all, peace in the classroom. You become a bridge between two worlds, but don't belong to either one of them fully. See, in a gifted classroom, many Black students were the only ones or one of the few. They had to decode microaggressions from teachers and classmates, adjust to the Eurocentric curriculum that never reflected their history, or learn twice as much to be taken half as seriously. See, gifted did not protect them from racism. In fact, it often made it more subtle and more painful. See, being smart didn't erase the sting from being followed in stores or pulled aside in school hallways or accused of cheating when they succeed. See, this is the silence that they inherited, that they have to be grateful to be here and that they shouldn't rock the boat. See, many times when Black students excel at tests, many times they're often accused of cheating. And they always have to defend themselves as to why they have excelled in a way that their counterparts have not. So there's a cost to being excellent early. So here's what happens when the pressure to achieve becomes your identity. See, Black kids are often growing up hearing, you're the hope of the family. You're going to make it out. You're different from others. But when your entire value is based on performance, what happens when you burn out? What happens when you don't make straight A's? What happens when you're smart but still human? Nobody talks to you about anxiety. Nobody talks to you about imposter syndrome, the fear of failure, the loneliness of being praised, but never truly being seen. So today, we're going to rewrite this narrative. To all the gifted Black children, now grown or still growing, understand that your intelligence is not a burden. Your brilliance is not a threat. And you don't have to be a role model 24/7 to be worthy. You deserve education that nurtures your whole being, not just your test scores. In order to break this inherited silence, you have to affirm Black excellence without apology. Create safe spaces for gifted Black youth to be complex and emotional. Tell these students that you're allowed to be tired and you're allowed to ask for help. refuse to force our children to prove they belong in spaces they were born to lead. Being gifted in Black is a legacy of resilience and resistance. But we're no longer accepting brilliance with baggage. We're no longer accepting praise without protection. Inherited silence told us to keep our heads down, ace the test, and not make a fuss. But today we're saying you can be gifted, Black, and free without any explanation. So today, let's uplift, validate, and free the gifted Black children still carrying the weight of perfection in silence. This is Pull Up for the Culture, the Legacy Lounge, our Inherited Silence series, Part 9. Until next time, honor your brilliance, rest your mind, speak your truth, even in gifted spaces. If you want to continue to follow on this trend, continue to push the culture into excellence, then go to PK Monet Educational Consulting. Click on Groups and click on Pull Up for the Culture and join. Until then, all you have to do is pull up. We out.